You are being attacked right now. 38 people can hear you screaming. Not one of them calls for help. This actually happened, and what scientists discovered afterward reveals something disturbing about human nature, something that applies to you right now more than you think. This is the bystander effect. In March 1964, a woman named Kitty Genovese was walking home in New York City. A man attacked her outside her apartment building. She screamed. She fought. The attack lasted around 30 minutes. Newspapers later reported that 38 neighbors heard or saw parts of the attack. Not one of them called the police in time to save her. The story shocked the entire country. At the time, newspapers ran headlines calling it proof that cities had made people cold and indifferent. Editorials argued that modern life had stripped away basic human decency. Politicians used the case to argue that society itself was breaking down. People assumed the witnesses were cold, heartless, broken somehow. But two psychologists disagreed. Their names were Darley and Bibb. And instead of assuming people were evil, they asked a different question. What if it has nothing to do with kindness at all? Here's where it gets strange. Darley and Latané designed an experiment. They told university students they would be having a discussion with other participants over an intercom system. During the conversation, one participant would begin to have what sounded like a medical emergency. Some students believed only one other person could hear the emergency. Others believed multiple people were listening at the same time. The results were the opposite of what most people expected. When a student believed they were the only witness, they helped almost immediately. But when they believed several other people were also listening, many of them did nothing at all. Not because they were cruel, because of one simple psychological trick your brain plays on you without you noticing. Darley and Latané ran this experiment over and over, adjusting the number of believed witnesses each time. 2 people, 3 people, 5 people. The pattern held every single time. As the number of witnesses increased, the percentage of people who helped decreased steadily and predictably. It was not random. It was a measurable or repeatable law of human behavior. Darley and Latané called it diffusion of responsibility. When you are the only witness to an emergency, all of the responsibility sits on you. There's nowhere for it to go. You act. But the moment you believe other people are also watching, your brain quietly shifts some of that responsibility onto them. Someone else will probably help. Someone else probably already called for assistance. Multiply that thought across 38 witnesses, and you get 38 people each assuming someone else is handling it. Nobody acts. Because everybody assumes somebody else already did. There's a second reason this happens, and it is just as unsettling. Researchers call it social referencing. When a situation feels unclear, humans instinctively look at the people around them for cues on how to react. If everyone else looks calm, your brain concludes the situation must not be an emergency after all. So picture this. You hear a strange scream outside. You look out your window. Your neighbor is also looking out their window, but they are not reacting with panic. Your brain quietly tells you if this were truly an emergency, they would be doing something. So you do nothing either, except your neighbor is looking at you and thinking the exact same thing. Everyone is waiting for someone else to move first, and so nobody moves at all. This is not a flaw limited to strangers in New York City in 1964. This is happening constantly, all around you right now. Studies conducted decades after the original research confirmed the same pattern across dozens of different situations in different countries. Someone collapses in a busy shopping mall. A person is being harassed on a crowded train. A car crash happens on a busy street with dozens of witnesses. The busier the location, the less likely any single person steps in. It sounds backwards. You would expect more witnesses to mean more help. Instead, more witnesses often means less help, because responsibility becomes invisible, spread so thin across the crowd that no single person feels it land on them. Think about the last time you saw something slightly wrong in public. Someone dropped something and did not notice. A child wandered slightly too far from a parent. A stranger looked lost or confused. In that half second, did you wait to see if anyone else would react first? Most people do. It happens instantly, automatically, before you even consciously decide anything. Here's the part that should genuinely disturb you. This is not about bad people. Every single study confirms that the exact same person will act heroically when alone and freeze completely when surrounded by others. It is not your character being tested. It is your brain's wiring being exploited by the size of the crowd around you, which means any one of us could have been one of those 38 witnesses. Not because we are cruel, because we are human, and human brains do this automatically, without permission, without warning. So what actually breaks the pattern? Psychologists eventually found something simple that works. If you are ever the one in danger and need help from a crowd, do not shout for help in general. Point directly at one single person. Describe them. Say their appearance out loud. Assign the responsibility directly to them. The moment responsibility becomes specific instead of shared, the diffusion disappears. That one person suddenly cannot assume someone else will help. They know it is them. It sounds almost too simple, but it works because It directly attacks the exact mechanism causing the freeze in the first place. So here's the real question worth sitting with. If you were witnessing an emergency alongside 37 other people right now, would you be the one who finally moved? Or would you be another name on that list of 38? Kitty Genovese did not die because 38 people were monsters. She died because 38 people were human. And that fact is far more frightening than if they had simply been cruel.